In this video, we will learn what is if statement by understanding its syntax followed by an example. Then we will learn what is the ternary operator by understanding its syntax followed by an example. And at the end, we will learn the most important part of this video, which is reason behind why if-else statement and the ternary operator are not exactly the same thing. Before starting the main content of this video, I want to just talk about two tools that I will be using in this video. First is the VS Code IDE, where I will write the code, and the second is the screen marker and recorder annotation tool. I will use this tool to draw shapes like rectangle, circles, or arrows to highlight something important on the screen. Now let's start the main content of the video with the if-else statement. Here we will first learn the syntax of the if-else statement and then an example related to it. This is the syntax of if-else statement. Here the very first thing is the if reservoir, and then we have to put the condition inside the round bracket. After that we will write the statement inside the curly bracket, so this will be end of if block. Now we will use else reservoir. Similarly we'll write statement inside curly bracket. Now let's learn the if-else statement with the help of an example. For that I will open my code editor, that is VS Code, and here I have already created a file named script.js. So let's write a comment first. If else statement. Now I will start with using the if reservoir, and then I will put round brackets, and here I will put a condition that will return either a true value or false value. So basically a truthy or falsy value. So for simplicity I am using a very simple condition here. So I will just compare two numbers. So first number will be 19 and then greater than 18. So this is the condition that we are putting. So 19 is greater than 18, so it will give a true value. So now I will put curly brackets, and now in this block I will put the statement that I want to be get executed in the if block. So I will use console log and then a string true. Now I will use else, and then again I will put the statement console log, obviously false. Now let's run this code now to understand what's happening. So here I will write node in terminal, node script.js, that is the name of the file, and now I will press enter. Oh, nothing came because I didn't save the program. So I will save the program using Control S. So yeah, so you can save the first you should save the program, then you should run the code, otherwise it won't run. So now coming back to the terminal, and I will again press the same command, node is file name and then .js extension. Now in the terminal you can see that true got printed. So here I will highlight this part. There you can see the true is the result of this code. So the reason why 2 got printed is this 19 is greater than 18 condition is returning a true value. Because of that, this block, the console log true, got executed. So this true value is coming here this true value. So if I will highlight with using this highlighter, so this true value and this true value in the console are the same. I mean, these two are the same. This is coming from here. Let's have a look at all the falsy value of the JavaScript. So as you can see that we have total 9 falsy values in JavaScript. So first one is the null, and then we have undefined, then we have false, then we have not a number, then we have 0, then -0 and 0n and empty string, and finally we have document.all. Now let's change the condition here. So I will change the condition. Now I will write 19 is less than 18. So this time it will give a false because this is the wrong statement. 19 is not less than 18, it's greater than 18. So earlier we were using the condition as 19 is greater than 18. So this block, if block was getting executed. However, this time we are using 19 is less than 18. So it will return a falsy value. So this time this else block will get executed. So in the output we will get this false string. So now let's run the program, and now you can see that in the terminal we are getting the false as output. So to understand that why this is happening, we will look closely what is falsy and what is truthy value in JavaScript. In JavaScript there are total 9 falsy value. So let's have a look at all the falsy value of the JavaScript. So as you can see that we have total 9 falsy values in JavaScript. So first one is the null, and then we have undefined, then we have false, then we have not a number, then we have 0, then -0 and 0n and empty string, and finally we have document.all. In our example, the falsy value that we are getting is this false, and is the type of this falsy value is boolean. So we will check that's what is we are getting in the code. So now let's go back to our VS Code. So first of all we will comment, so we can focus entirely upon the output that we are going to be check. So first we will store this condition in a variable name condition, and then we will console log this variable, because now this condition in the result of this expression got stored into this variable, that is condition. So let's run this code. So now you can see that this is the false. You have to understand that this false and this false is not same, because earlier we are getting this false because of this string that we are using, and here we are getting this false because the type of this expression is boolean, which is a false. So for example, if you want to check the what is the type of thing, then you can use inbuilt JavaScript inbuilt function, that is type of, and now you have to put the name whatever you want to check the type for which you want to take the type. So now again let's run the program. So we will find that the type is boolean. So as I told you, this expression will return you a falsy value, and here the falsy value is false, and this false is a boolean type. So now again we will comment this part and we will go back to our example. So now I'm commenting out this part. So yeah, so I hope by this time you gotta understand that why this true, this if block is getting executed and when this else block is getting executed. So the whole thing is depending upon whether this value is truthy or falsy. So as we discussed what is the falsy value, now the question is what's the truthy value? Any value except all the falsy value are truthy value. So for example, we can even delete this and put just 1. We can put any number, so I'm just putting 1, and when you will run this program, so in console you will see true because it is a 1 is a truthy value. So 1 is truthy value, that's why this if block is getting executed, not the else block. So anything which is not in the list of the falsy values is truthy value. Now let's move to the second section of this video, which is ternary operator. In this section, first we will understand the syntax of ternary operator, and then we will understand the ternary operator with the help of an example. So now here, now let's see the syntax of the ternary operator. So this is the syntax of a ternary operator. Here we have, first we have a condition, and then we will have to put a question mark and the true expression which we want to print when the condition is true, and then after a colon we will put the statement which will get executed if the condition is false. So now let's move to the example. So we will again go to the VS Code and now just putting a comment ternary operator, and then I will put the condition. Here also we will put the same condition, 90 is greater than 18, then a question mark, then we will write that what we want to print if the condition is true. So again, like we did in the if, we're gonna be, and now after this we put a colon, and then we'll put a statement which will get printed when the condition will false. So here I will put a string false. So now let's run the program. So as we can see that we are getting true. Here also the reason is same why we are getting true, because this value is returning a truthy value like it was returning in the if else statement. So now we got to understand that what is the syntax of a ternary operator. Now we will see the most important part of this video, which is reason why both are not the exactly same thing. Most of the people think that ternary operator is shorthand for if else statement, and that's the only difference between them. But the real difference is something else. So let's see what's the real difference. So I will again open the code editor. So here The real difference is that this ternary operator is an expression. However, this if else is a statement. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you can store this expression inside a variable. So for example, if I want to store this whole expression into a variable, then I will use const, and then I will just simply give a name of a variable which is result. So now first this condition will get evaluated. So 19 is greater than 18, which will return a true value. So this expression will get executed. So in result variable, this true string will get, this whole thing will go. So finally on console this string true will get printed. So let's run this program and we can see that we have true in the terminal as output. So as I already told you, if you want to do the exactly same thing, so first let me comment out this thing so we can simply focus on the if else statement. So now if we want to do the exactly same thing like we did here, so let's try to use the exactly same variable. As you can see that we are getting an error. And what does this error says? It is saying expression expected. As I already told you, this whole thing is not an expression. So that's the difference. We can store the result of ternary operator into a variable, but we can't store this, the result of if else, into a variable. So I hope you got the difference, why both are not exactly the same thing. And this is the reason why in React, when we use React, in JSX we can't use if else. However, we can use ternary operator. So just to give the idea what I'm saying here, I will create a small React app and then try to demonstrate what I'm trying to say. Now in order to save some time, I created the React app, and this is the default app.js file of React.js. So let's open this React app in browser. So first I will delete all the context and then delete all the extra things which we don't need. Here I will simply use h1 tag, and in order to write the expression I will use curly braces. So now we can write the JSX. So first we'll write exactly the same thing. So 19 is greater than 18, and then we write true and column, and then false. Now let's run the program. As we see here, we can see in the UI we can see the true, because this is a expression and we can use an expression inside a JSX. but we can't use if else here. Let's comment this and try to do the same thing with if else. So again, I'm using h1 tag, and then I will use curly braces for JSX. So now I will write the same thing. If round bracket 19 greater than 18, and then curly bracket console log string true, and then else, then again, okay, wait, I should put else here. Else, then curly braces, and then I will put again the console log and false. So now if you see that here, we are getting the error. We are getting the exactly same error expression expected. So this is not an expression. However, this ternary operator is expression. That's why we are able to pass. That's why we are able to use in JSX. But there is a way we can use this if else. So for example, for a moment, just commenting this. We are commenting this, and now if we are using a function, then we can use that. So for example, I'm using a function const. I'm naming that function as a const display result, and then arrow function if, again same thing, 19 is greater than 18 inside round brackets, and then return true, else return false. So now if we call this function inside h1 tag, and of course we have to put curly braces for JSS, writing JSS, and now if we call this, so now we will see the true on the UI. So let's check UI once. So you can see that now there is no error, even though we are using if else, but still we are getting the result. So when you are passing this through the function, then we are able to do this thing. So there is another way we can do this. So if we are using IIFE, so we don't need to even write this function outside. So I'm just comment this part. So yeah, and now I will directly pass this whole thing, this whole thing, yeah, to here. I will copy, and first of all I have to comment this also. So now again I'm writing h1 tag, and now of course we have to use parenthesis, and now we'll put this whole thing inside a round bracket. So now we let's revise here. First we put for JSX we use curly braces, and then we put the whole function inside the inside the round bracket, and now we will call this function then and there. So we call the function, and if we see the UI, you will see the result true on the UI. So let's check out once the UI. As you can see, again we are getting the true. So if you are passing through the function, then it's possible, but if you are directly writing this if else, then it's not possible. So that's the major difference was between the ternary operator and if else operator. In this video we learned that what is if else statement, and then we learned that what is the ternary operator, and in the last section we learned why if else statement and ternary operator are not the exactly same thing. And then we also learned that why we can't use if else in JSX of React. So I hope that after watching this video you will not say that if else statement and ternary operator are the exactly same thing. You will now you know that was the main difference. The main difference is that ternary operator is expression, however if else is a statement.